Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lois Addah. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to sew a trending kaftan bubu with a drawstring and fitted waist step by step. This tutorial is beginner friendly and easy to follow, so let's get started. So to sew this gown, we have 3 yards of crepe fabric. So we folded these 3 yards into 4. After folding into 4, we had to mark 1.5 all the way down at the upper part. The reason for that 1.5 inches is because we are going to use it as an elastic casing for the shoulder area. So I had to take the neck width of 3.5 and then for the back depth 2.5, which I connected to the neck width and extended it up west to that 1.5 inches. Next, I took the neck depth of 6 inches for the front neck depth. I also connected it to the neck width. So the next thing is to place our tape from the 1.5 and then take our shoulder slant of 1.5 as well and connected it all the way down to the neck width. So after connecting it to the neck width, the next thing I am going to do is to take 1.5 inches for the elastic casing for the shoulder. Okay, so from the neck width, take 1.5 all the way down. So after taking the 1.5 from that shoulder slant upwards, I had to connect it to the neck width. Okay, so after connecting it to the neck width, next is to take the sleeve circumference. So the sleeve circumference, I took 9 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance, which gave us total of 10 inches. So from that 10 inches, I went inwards by 6 inches and I made a little curve at that armhole area. So I am going to mark 6 inches all the way down. Okay, so from the tip of that material, from the sleeve width area, we are going to mark that 6 inches all the way down, and then we are going to connect the lines, after which it is time for us to cut all that we have marked all out. If you have watched this video to this point, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you will not miss out on any of our beautiful tutorials. So next, it is time for me to cut the neckline. So to achieve that, I'll first of all cut the back neckline. And after cutting the back neckline, I am going to drop the neckline for the front. So what I did was to pick up only the front and cut the neckline for the front. So after cutting it out, it is time for us to sew. So the actual length that we have on the fabric is the total length that we are going to use. So next I had to cut 3.5 inches wideness and the length of the gown from where we are going to make the casing for the drawstring. So that is 3.5 inches wideness. So after cutting that, the next pieces in my hand, we are going to cut 2 of it for the ropes. So it is time for us to sew what we've cut. So we are going to work on the front panel first of all. So we folded the front panel into 2 and used our pressing iron to iron it to have a grain line at the center. So after that, I had to open it at the wrong side. So that is the grain line at the wrong side, okay, the center part of it. So I had to place my tape from the shoulder and I marked 17.5. So at that point of 17.5, that is where we are going to start our casing from the center. So that's the grain line. So I am going to use that pieces we cut, the 3.5 inches that we cut. We had to fold half an inch on both sides and ironed it, and then folded it into 2 and iron it to have a grain line as well. So the grain line on that pieces is the same line that will be on the fabric. So we are going to pin it center to center, okay, all the way down. Then we are going to use our sewing machine to sew the upper part all the way down. So after sewing it, the next thing I'm going to do is to introduce my rope. So I am going to put the rope at one edge. See how I am doing it? I'll place it inside, and then I will cover the casing, and then I will use my sewing machine to sew it all the way down. So while sewing, make sure that you are not sewing on top of the ropes, okay? So I will do the same for the other side. So after sewing it, we will now sew the upper part so that it will not pull out when we draw it. So the next thing to do is to put our belt, inner belt, to have that proper fit while wearing the gown. So I have to fold the gown again, the front panel, into two, and then from the 1.5 inches that we went down by, I had to mark 15.5. So that line of 15.5 is where the belt will be. Then from the center, the center front, I am going to mark 6 inches. So but here I marked 7 inches, okay? So I'm going to use my pin to pin it to the other side. So after pinning it, I had to use my chalk to mark that area as well. Then I turned it open. So on that chalk part, I'm going to place the belt, and then I'm going to sew the belt. I used pin to secure it. So those two parts have pinned the belt. That is where we are going to use our sewing machine to sew. So after sewing it, the next thing we are going to do is to use bias to turn the neckline, okay? So this is the front panel. We are going to turn the neckline for the front and equally turn the neckline for that of the back. After turning their necklines, then we are going to use 1.5 inches seam allowance to sew the shoulder all the way down. So after sewing it, I'll bring it and show. So I am done turning the neckline for both the front and the back, and the shoulder has been sewn. So the next thing is we are going to put our elastic in that shoulder area, the casing we did on the shoulder. So we had to cut 13 inches for each of the elastic. We had to cut 4. After cutting that 4, I had to use my safety pin to hold the elastic. Then I'm going to pass it through the sleeve area to the neckline area. So see what I did? I had to take it down to that point and then use my pin to secure it. Just the way I fixed one, that is how I am going to fix the next, and the other two for the other shoulder. So after doing that, I am going to use my sewing machine to secure them. Then the next thing is for me to fold the sleeve. But before I fold the sleeve, I am going to couple the two sides of the gown, okay? So for me to couple the two sides, I have to hold the two sleeves just the way I am holding it. Then I'm sewing it from the back side, okay? So I am going to sew it all the way down. I'll do the same for the other side, and after which I am going to fold the sleeve with 1 inch, and then I'm going to do the same for the down parts, folding by 1 inch. I'll bring it. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like the video, leave a comment, and share it with someone who loves sewing. Don't forget to subscribe for more easy sewing tutorials. See you in my next video. I'm Lois, Addah.